Hello Scorpio, so I'm doing your bonus weekly reading for June the 21st to the 28th. As always, there's going to be timestamps in my description box below, just in case you feel like any of these zodiacs, in case you feel like any of these oracles are not quite working out for you. So yeah, Scorpio, you can already tell. Like, I put my brain on back to front this morning, so yeah. It is what it is. The Hawk and spirituality. Okay. You tend to get this one out quite a lot, Scorpio. It says to fly above and beyond your day-to-day thoughts to observe them from a bird's eye view. Quieting the mind and detaching from your thought patterns puts you in a better position to take in messages from your spirit guides, right? So, your brain could be playing tricks on you this week, Scorpio. That's what I'm going to tell you with this one, okay? Yes, it is about receiving messages from the spiritual realm, absolutely. But the highlight this week is because your brain is likely going to be playing tricks on you, you might not be paying attention to the spiritual messages that are coming in, or you could be overwriting them, which is likely going to be it, with your loud inner critic, okay? So any habits that you have about making sure that, you know, everything's perfect and all the rest of it, that actively is going to work against you this week, okay? Because again, you need to consider, well, what is perfection? It's in the eye of the beholder, right? There is no such standard as perfect, okay? It is what you make it. Now, when you set your standard to being your version of perfect, anything that doesn't quite match up to that, you're going to overwrite or you're going to sort of push away, like instantly, okay? So try not to do that this week. I feel like your message is saying, Scorpio, keep an open mind, okay? You're loud inner critic. You do need to get back on top of that before it sends you down this spiral of worry, anxiety, and panic, okay? In order for you to take in messages from your spirit guides, your mind needs to be reasonably clear. Okay, and I say reasonably because it's impossible, like, for us to completely empty our minds, right? Everything's chaos these days. Everyone's really, really busy. Everyone's got targets to meet, okay? It's impossible to completely empty your mind. So, you know, we've got to be realistic here. But mostly, okay, mostly empty your mind by recognizing when your loud inner critic is, you know, taking over the show and is sending you down this spiral or is stopping you from doing what you need to do right now, okay? So yeah, that's your Hawk message. You've got to fly above and beyond your day-to-day thoughts and observe them from a different angle. Why am I worried about this? Why am I stressed about that? Why am I convinced that this, that, and the next isn't going to work, right? All of those things, it's coming from your loud inner critic. So it's not to say ignore your thoughts, okay, because that's bad. Write them down somewhere. No one else needs to see them, okay? And then when you can see it then in black and white, you'll be able to really pick out, okay, this bit over here, that is an irrational fear. This bit over here, that's me worried about something that's not even happened yet. This bit over here, well, I've already got the answer to that thing, so, you know, I no longer need to worry about that thing there. Do you know what I mean? It's like when you write things down, you can really see how everything is maybe getting on top of you at this time, right? Maybe that's what the problem is. And maybe that's why your loud inner critic might be particularly loud this week, okay? Right, so for your rune message, you've got TUES and Yira. Okay, so TUES is actually one of your runes, okay? It says death, ending, transformation, and rebirth. Obviously not a literal death, okay? And I do not predict for that sort of thing anyway. It is against my ethics, okay? Anything to do with health and like physical health and stuff like that, I do not look into. So it's a metaphorical death, right? I feel here that clearly you are ending something. Now, it could be a relationship, could be a cycle, could be a job, or just a way of living, right? You're welcoming in a new cycle here. So at the moment, Scorpio, this week, you're going through the transformation process, okay? That's what THURS is. It's that transformation process and all the difficulties that you face along the way. Because as we all know, change is not necessarily an easy thing to do, right? We're going to find out as we pull more cards exactly what it is that's changing up. I am hoping that we're going to get specifics out for you. With Yira, it's investment, harvest, result, and cycle. Okay, so the combination of these two, it's saying, Scorpio, you're almost there. You're almost through the worst of it, okay? Keep going, because things are about to turn a corner. Things are about to get better. Everything and everyone, including the planet that we're on, including the universe that we're in, all has its own individual cycles. Now, your channeled message on your pre-shuffle, Scorpio, is you cannot harvest anything before it has ripened, right? And now that I'm seeing these cards coming out in your reading, I can see exactly how that fits in with your energy this week. Being preemptive this week is not necessarily going to work out in your favor. Let me just say that, okay? Being patient and proactive definitely will work out for you, okay? Just keep in mind you cannot harvest anything before it has ripened, okay? There are cycles that you're currently going through, and as I've already mentioned, there are cycles that the planet that we're on is going through its own cycles, the universe itself goes through its own cycles. Whether or not these cycles are in sync with each other is something else entirely, right? You seem to be exactly where you're supposed to be at this moment in time, and that's the only thing that needs to concern you right now, okay? Where you are, what you're doing, you're exactly where you're supposed to be. Because we've got this cycle here that is closing out, and you can see there's autumn and winter specifically are illustrated in this particular card, okay? Spring and summer doesn't feature in this card. So that's where I'm getting the message of a difficult cycle or a painful cycle or a cycle that has kept you unsure, a cycle that you felt like you've just been floating in rather than orchestrating, you know, because things are all still very much up in the air at the moment. With this card coming out, it's saying those times, those difficult times are what's closing out here, okay? So, with that being said, I'm going to take a look at your healing crystal message. Now, if you feel that you're needing further guidance or assistance while you're currently going through these cycle changes, then definitely harness the energy of this Yira rune, okay, which is basically two tailless arrows facing in opposite directions, one of them slightly above the other. And I always say just trace it out on a bit of paper. It doesn't have to be anything fancy, okay? It's all about your intent as you're drawing it out, and just keep that close to you, okay? And that's going to help you to focus on the energy of Yira, recognizing that everything and everyone goes through cycles. You are leaving, you are exiting a difficult cycle. So I'll put that one down there, and I'll leave THURS up there just to remind you that, you know, you are going through a very transformative time. And no, it's not been easy, but you've made it through, Scorpio. Okay, right. So I'm going to do a couple of awkward shuffles of this deck, and then we'll take a look at your healing crystal message. Okay, can you have a healing crystal for Scorpio, please? Oh, it's that one there. Okay. Interesting way that that card wanted to come out today, Scorpio. So there's a message here about subtlety. Okay. There's also a message here about making sure that what you're trying to obtain or attain is truly, truly, truly what you want. Okay. I do feel that the message of subtlety and how there's no need for you to make any grand announcements right now is going to be the strongest message here. Okay. I haven't a clue what this crystal is. It's very beautiful though. Oh, it's a fluorite. Lovely. I'm used to seeing fluorite as little chipstones. That's how I used to work with fluorite anyway. So that'll be why I didn't recognize what that was. Okay, so it says organization, clear and priorities. Structure can provide freedom, and fluorite helps to organize your life from the top to the bottom, heightening focus and releasing unnecessary stress. Fluorite assists with bringing clarity into your life, lifting your mental capabilities for crystal clear intuition and empowered decision making. By taking your discernment up a notch, fluorite protects against bad influences and psychic manipulation. Maybe that's where you're needing to be subtle when it comes down to these psychic manipulations. Fluorite both grounds and lifts your energy, connecting your body to the earth and to higher spiritual awareness at the same time. Prioritize balance, and it's associated with the signs Capricorn, Pisces, and the planet Mercury. Now, I'm just going to go shut my window here a minute, Scorpio. Okay, I will be right back. Okay, so there's a couple of interesting things that's been mentioned here, Scorpio. Okay. Obviously, yes, you are needing to make sure that what you're considering a priority this week is a genuine priority. Okay, make sure you got your priorities straight. Be clear, be crystal clear about what it is that you're wanting, because they're saying here that you're needing to create some sort of structure in your life this week. Now, there's so many different ways you could do that, okay? Is your daily routine working for you, right? Could you do with some more structure there with your daily routine? Anything that you do habitually that are not helpful to you, can you perhaps trim those away and create structure there? Are you using the best use of your time? Okay, I'm not on about being busy all of the time. I'm saying things like, do you have a structured work time and then like a structured playtime, or do you find yourself working through what should be your playtime, or the other way around, right? So anything like that is going to really help you what that does is it gives you more options then, okay? And it's the more options that provide the freedom. So that's why they're saying structure can provide freedom, okay? Because when you know what you're doing, when you're doing it, like, and how long it's supposed to be, you can figure out then what you've got left to work with, okay? So you've got to organize your life from top to bottom, apparently. The other interesting mention here was how fluorite protects you against bad influences and psychic manipulation. So again, I am hoping that we're going to see more messages to do with that as we start pulling the tarot. Okay. Right. let's take a look at the strongest energy that's around you, because I like to do things in order, right? In fact, what I'll do, Scorpio, today, I'm going to pull the strongest energies, and then we're going to revisit these cards here. Because I'm going to ask some additional questions of the tarot. Okay. Right, messages for Scorpio, please. Okay. Sacred wisdom. Messages for Scorpio. Oh man, I keep forgetting how awkward some of these decks are to shuffle. Okay, so sacred wisdom, divas, and personal power. Right, so from the top, think carefully, consider all options in your life. Oh, excuse me. Consider all options in your life transitions. So straight away, there's yet another message there about how this week is going to be very transformative for you. So you are needing to consider all of your options. So I can answer one of these questions straight away with, you know, with the hawk and the loud inner critic. So here they're saying, try not to have a tunnel vision this week, Scorpio, right? Now, obviously, if you've got your heart set on something, that's fine. Just be prepared to adapt on that ever so slightly, okay? Because having one set way of doing things or one set way of believing in something or whatever the case might be, that's going to be really restrictive. And all of this energy is pointing towards you not putting unnecessary restrictions on yourself at this time, Scorpio, okay? So having that tunnel vision, while yes, it can help keep you focused, it can also keep you restricted in a lot of ways, because you might not see that there are actually more, that there is more than one way of actually achieving what you're trying to achieve this week. Okay, so that's where they're on about, like, make adaptations here and there. Okay. Then you've got divas. And this one says, master your own energy, take appropriate action. That's why I keep going, because that does tie in with the message about psychic manipulation. See how he's got that crystal there on the forehead? That's protection. It's protecting his psychic abilities, his psychic senses, protecting his energy, trying to clear his energy field here. Okay. Yeah, we really need to take a deeper dive into that one in a minute. And personal power. Take responsibility for your actions and reclaim your power, right? So we have to take responsibility for our own actions, not for other people's. Not for other people's actions. Are you getting the blame for something that another person's done? Are you being falsely accused of something here? It's possible. It's very, very possible. You don't control what other people do. You only control what you do, right? There's potentially also something going on where you have been sent, I don't know, like evil eye, jealousy, spite, something like that. And that might have negatively affected you. So you have to reclaim your personal power back from that. And again, that can happen when we've been accused of doing something that we've not done, right? Because the vast majority of people, right, if we're called up on something and we know that we've done it, we'll be like, yeah, I did that, and I'm trying to rectify it, or I'm trying to make up for it. Fair enough, right? But when we get the blame for something that we've not done, that's where we tend to give away our power, and we get upset, angry, pissed off, feeling vengeful, right? If there's anything like that that's gone on, Scorpio, you need to reclaim your personal power away from whoever has been accusatory, okay? Yeah, a lot of really interesting messages here. So I feel we're needing to take a look at why this week is a transformative one for you. Okay, we'll try and find out, well, okay, what about this week is changing? Let's find out. Why is this week so transformative for Scorpio? Remember, I can only give you what I'm allowed to see. Okay, so do keep in mind, it's going to be limited, because we're not all allowed to see everything. The Hierophant could be to do with your current belief system. Could be to do with your current obligations or promises here with the Hierophant. The Three of Wands. Three of Wands is a milestone. It's future proofing, future planning. Eight of Swords. Somebody doesn't know how to move forward. Somebody doesn't know how to get out of a rut. Okay, you're stuck in a rut. This is what's transforming this week. Let's see if I can find out more. Tell us more about this Hierophant for what is transforming this week. There could be a job change. Obviously, that's not going to resonate for all of you. What's going on with this Hierophant for what is transforming? The Moon and the Ace of Wands. Ace of Wands is off balance. So the problem is, Scorpio, you've not been... you've not had enough time for creative things in life, pleasant things in life. Okay. There could also be something to do with your own morals and ethics here that is transforming. Maybe you're one of these that believes that you have to constantly work, have to constantly do something in order to be useful, right? Maybe that's the way you were brought up. There's definitely not been enough time here for like social pleasures. Okay, that's what's transforming this week. How that's transforming, for me, that's unclear. Okay, and it's gonna be different for every single one of you anyway, because not all Scorpios are going through the exact same thing at the exact same time in the exact same way. That's just impossible, right? There's something here with the Moon that you have been deeply, deeply worried and concerned about. You might have been worried and concerned that you're losing your job, right? If that happens, Scorpio, you will find something new almost instantly, okay? So if there are concerns with anything to do with career and how you earn a living, anything like that, it is going to be resolved really, really quickly. Now, if this is something, I feel that it's more to do with personal issues, your personal life, right? I feel that this energy is saying that your beliefs are going to be transformed. And it's the beliefs that you have, possibly towards yourself, or could be, because this is the Moon, could be towards a female figure that you grew up with. Okay, again, just take it as it resonates. With this Ace of Wands coming out like that, with it being all scattered energy, it feels like something has been a bit of a letdown, right? Now again, the specifics of that for me is unclear. But you're able to move past what has been very disappointing for you. Okay. I'm also seeing as well with this combination, the Hierophant, the Moon, and the Ace of Wands off balance, that you're transforming deep-rooted trauma or pain or deep-rooted things that you're afraid of. You're actively transforming that into something that is very creative and very beautiful. Okay. What's this Three of Wands for what is transforming for Scorpio, please? Page of Wands, there it is. Your spark, your spark for life. Your excitement for life. I feel like everything's been far too serious for far too long, and that's what's transforming this week. Okay. This is fun, it's excitement, it's adventure, it's trying something new for the first time ever. Tell us about this Eight of Swords for what is transforming. So if you were afraid to try something new out of fear of some kind of ridicule, you don't have to have that fear anymore. The world reversed and the Two of Cups also reversed. It's indicating something's not over. Something isn't finished yet. Okay, that there is unfinished business. Now, this may or may not be connected to the messages that I've literally just given you. I feel that this is something else that is also transforming this week, and it's a connection or a relationship where somebody believes that the connection or the relationship with you isn't over. Okay. So what's this psychic manipulation? What's going on with this psychic manipulation? Oh, yeah, there's something there, Scorpio. I don't know if you just saw that then. The deck refused to shuffle properly. That was not me. You can tell a lot about the energy that you're dealing with by the way that the deck handles. That deck did not want to shuffle. It's almost as if somebody doesn't quite want you to find out, or at least they don't want you to find out yet. What is it that they don't want you to find out? Nine of Cups. That you're their wish fulfillment? That the thought of you is what keeps them happy? The thought of you is what makes them happy? So it's this psychic manipulation. Scorpio. Yeah. I'll tell you, I'm going to pull your cards, but I will tell you. I feel like there's, see, I don't know if I should tell you. No, I have to, because that's my job. There's a love spell. There's a love spell. That's why it's coming out as psychic manipulations. I feel like somebody's put a love spell on you. Fucking, I knew it! That's why I said I want to feel out this energy while I'm pulling your cards before I read the cards. Nine of Cups, King of Wands, Lovers, and the Six of Swords. This is one of your exes. One of your exes. They could be a fire sign. They don't have to be. They could literally be any sign. But your strongest energy here is this Leo energy. Yes, you do have Gemini here with the Lovers, but I feel that that's there to emphasize on the fact that you used to be together with this person. And then you've got Six of Swords next to it because you're no longer dealing with them. Energy manipulations. I am forever telling people, do not put love spells on specific people. Why? Because anything that fucks around with the free will of another person, it is guaranteed going to backfire. And it is considered as energy manipulation, psychic manipulation, and all the rest. If anyone wants to do love spells, they've to do it in such a way where they're attracting more love into their own sphere of influence, but it should never be directed to a single specific individual ever. Scorpio, I feel like one of your exes or someone who is wanting to be with you has put a love spell on you here. I feel that really, really strongly. So while you're busy trying to sort out other shit in your life at the moment, have you been suddenly feeling really, really down and depressed, seemingly out of nowhere? And have you been seeing a certain person in your dreams, seemingly out of nowhere? And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, randomly feeling super, super anxious and then immediately followed up with super, super excitable and silly. All of those are characteristics of having had a love spell put on you. All of them. It makes you feel like you're going a bit loopy-loo. Look at the cards. There was a clue there, wasn't there? There was a clue there. And I said, I don't know if it's connected to the energy that I've just seen for you, or if it's connected to something else entirely different. And I said, someone believes that this isn't over. So while you're welcoming in new cycles in your life, you got someone here who's desperately holding on to the old cycle where you were involved with them. Actively holding on to that. So they're being disrespectful to the natural cycles of everything. Who's this King of Wands? Who is this King of Wands? Did I not say it was going to backfire? The Tower. Literally said it would backfire. Who's the King of Wands? You're going to find out soon enough, Scorpio. The Tower, Two of Pentacles, Queen of Pentacles, and the Star. Could be Aries, could be Scorpio, could be Capricorn, could be Aquarius, could be Leo. Dominant signs, Aries, Leo, Aquarius. This person misses you. That's no excuse. That is no excuse. And I am not, under any circumstances, going to be making excuses for this person, because they have, and I feel like they are unawares, but they have actually broken spiritual law. This is why you don't fuck around with stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? It's like, if you don't know what you're doing, don't fuck around with it. This isn't a game. This is not a fucking game. That's why it's going to backfire. Are you dealing with someone else? Tower, Two of Pentacles, Queen of Pentacles, a Star. You're committed to someone else. You're dealing with someone else here. They're trying to split you up so that they can have you all to themselves. Here's the thing, and again, I'm not making excuses for them, but they probably haven't stopped to think. They likely haven't stopped to think. So consumed with what it is that they want, rather than thinking of potential long-term consequences, rather than them thinking, oh, hold on a minute, maybe what I'm doing here is wrong. Maybe what I'm doing here is selfish. I don't think they've thought about that. Because this person is fucking consumed. They are consumed with getting you back, as in winning you back. It doesn't matter if it's a man or a woman. And their gender makes no difference at all. At all. This is their idea. This is their idea entirely. And God only knows why they think it's a good idea. That was dumb. That was real fucking dumb. What's this? I mean, we know what this tower is, but let's take a look at this tower. Yeah. 9 of Pentacles off balance. 9 of Pentacles off balance is a single person. So they're trying to make you single if you're not already. Here's the thing. Anyone who reads tarot will know 9 of Pentacles in the upright. That's someone who's single, who's independent, who's strong, who's stable, self-made. It's self-contained energy, so it's someone who can hold their own, a free thinker, very successful in their own right. When it comes out off balance, that's selfishness. That is someone who goes against the free will of others. It is codependency. It is not very good when it comes out off balance. It's a squanderer, either of finances or time or opportunities. Any and all types of squanderer. So they squandered their chance for you. Okay. Personal power. Scorpio. Reclaim your energy from this one. Personal power. Okay. And here's the thing. I know you're all going to ask, well, okay, then they've put this love spell on me. How do I take it off? How do I get rid of it? You don't give it power. You don't focus on it. It needs your focus to attach itself to. Free advice. Salt baths, black obsidian, clear quartz, anything like that. Don't focus on them. Don't focus on their energy. When you meditate, imagine this shield, this energetic shield around you. Okay? Burn herbs for clearing. All these things you can do yourself, but the main one is you don't focus on it. You don't hyperfixate on it, because then it can latch onto you. You keep your vibe high, so you're not an energetic match, and it can't latch onto you. Okay? Two of Wands for personal power. Choosing differently. Now, if you have been debating, should I stay or should I go? Then leaving is going to be the best opportunity for you here. Right? As in not giving this person attention. Do not succumb to that bullshit. They're saying that there are 2 clear paths that are laid out in front of you. You can either get worried and bothered by this, or you can ignore it and carry on with your day. I know which one I would do. 3 of Pentacles. 5 of Cups. Personal power. So you know what's going to happen when this fails, and it will fail. They're going to try and enroll the help of another person here. Yeah, see, 5 of Cups and the 2 of Cups. You're trying to enroll the help of another person. Magician, at the bottom of the deck. Well, there's a surprise. It's under there. The Ten of Pentacles, the Empress, the Queen of Cups, yeah, and the Four of Pentacles with the Ten of Swords. If you're with someone else right now, Scorpio, and I highly suspect that you could be, they hate seeing you with that other person. What's this Five of Cups for personal power? Eight of Pentacles. The Knight of Pentacles off balance. One more, please, for this Five of Cups. That's off balance as well. The Four of Pentacles. That Four of Pentacles keeps coming out. Selfishness. Knight of Pentacles off balance. That's someone who didn't do their research. So you can take back your own personal power by you doing your own research as well, okay? This Eight of Pentacles, now that can indicate how they are determined and that they're not going to stop at the first hurdle, basically. What's this Two of Cups? Scorpio's personal power. The King of Cups off balance. I told you, didn't I? That's one of your cards, Scorpio. Don't give this any energy. It's off balance. That's emotionally unavailable. Five of Cups again. Make it crystal fucking clear that you are emotionally unavailable to this person and that it doesn't matter what they try, nothing is going to work. Because you've made your mind up. You will not have your mind being changed. You will not be manipulated. You might want to bring in the help of other people. Strength in numbers type thing. Yeah, see, Six of Swords. That's another card that keeps coming out. Six of Swords. Moving on. Ten of Pentacles. Queen of Wands with the Three of Wands there. They are all up in your business, Scorpio. If you think that certain aspects of your life are private, you might be disappointed to find that actually those aspects of your life are not as private as what you thought they were. Because they know about them. They know about what's going on with you, what's up with you. They know about any recent achievements that you've had. They know about who's involved with you, who's in your life. Okay? You have a healing message for Scorpio, please. The thing is, as well, just looking at these cards again, Scorpio, and again, doesn't make a jot of difference if you're a man or a woman. The more success that you create in your life, the more achievements that you have in your life, the more attractive you are to whoever this is. Okay. Cleansing. Moonrise and cleansing. Let's take a look. I wish that they'd put numbers on the cards, but they don't. So you've got to try and find it here in the index. 84. So 84. Okay. Right. Scorpio, drawing this card suggests that you've been through a very difficult situation from which you're finally now emerging. So your reading has come full circle. Because that's what I literally told you at the start of your reading when we saw your two runes. Yeah? So I was absolutely spot on by telling you that a difficult cycle is legit closing out, and it's closing out for good as well. Even though you're nearing the end of this challenging period of your life, or perhaps you're already there, you still have energetic cords or attachments that you need to clear from your life. Okay? Think of them as energetic debris that needs to be washed away by time and intention. Just as we can see the moon rise nearly every night in the skies, so you too are nearly always able to process upsets with some effort. You need to carry out this cleansing of your body, mind and spirit, or you risk remain being stuck in the past. Sit under the moon's beams and ask her to cleanse you. Ask Archangel Michael to cut your cords to the past. Take regular salt baths. I do not bullshit you guys, ever. Take regular salt baths. Most importantly, set the intention that you're cleansing yourself of the past so that you may face a happier present and a brighter future. Once you're cleansed, you can start over in a way that you may not have even believed was possible. Additional meanings for this card: something in the situation needs to be cleared. Use sage to clear your home energetically. You are emerging cleansed. Integrity and truth will win the day. Be kind but also honest. Okay? I don't know. I'm lost for words, Scorpio. I'm literally lost for words. Sometimes I wish that I could identify certain people and that I could see them face to face and give them a bloody good shake. Right, shake some sense into them. Right, sometimes you feel like shit, sometimes you aren't happy about it, but it's better to feel like shit than to be full of shit. Spirit's way of saying, well, it could always be worse, Scorpio. Hear no shit, speak no shit, and take no shit. And if you wish to succeed, you must brave the risk of failure. Because people who make shit happen, they don't wait for the shit to happen, but they do some shit about it, okay? So whatever you're attempting this week, Scorpio, yes, it might go badly. Yes, you might fuck up. Yes, you might make a mistake. But it could also go really, really good for you as well. And you're not going to know until you've tried, okay? But yeah, that is what I have for you guys today. I genuinely hope that reading has been helpful. For personal reads with me, my website is phoenixkeiatarot.com. The link for that is in my description box below. Thank you so very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.